This is Isla, and I just wanted to give you a little view of my view, and then we'll go inside because it's not an ideal spot to do video. But so this is where I live, and across the ocean, that's the Pacific Ocean. I'm on the Big Island of Hawaii, and I can see Maui. And why do I tell you that? Well, it's not to brag about anything. It's that I want you to know that these tools that I'm sharing with you, the information I'm sharing with you, has worked for me. It has helped me to create an amazing life. I grew up in New York. I was born in Brooklyn, grew up a very simple existence, and grew up on Long Island, New York. And I had dreams and visions throughout my childhood and my early 20s. And it was through the practice of meditation, it was through believing I could do anything, that I could have anything, that I could experience things that I wanted to experience, that my life has unfolded. And it's not without its challenges. You know, I said that earlier. We all have stuff that happens that's less than wonderful. And that's just the way life is. But we can create a beautiful life for ourselves. And I wanted to show you the physicality of my beauty here in Hawaii. One of the things that living here has taught me, many things, but one of the big things about living here, especially on the Big Island of Hawaii, where the energy, I've talked to you before about energy. Everything is energy. And here in the middle of the Pacific Ocean has a unique kind of energy. And we live on the island with an active volcano. And that creates, my hair's sticking up, it looks weird, doesn't it? Yeah, all right, well, whatever. You're not here to look at me, you're here to have an experience. So we have this active volcano on the island, and anyone who's lived here any length of time knows to respect it and to address the goddess, Madame Pele. And there's something about living here that has had me look at aspects of me that I didn't before when I lived in New York or Connecticut or British Columbia. It's like you face things about yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm not one really, I don't like to judge good, bad. Maybe the better qualities versus the not so great qualities. You know, we're all working on things to improve ourselves in this life. So maybe you're doing the same thing. Last time we talked, it was about psychic abilities and intuition. I'd like to talk to you as we talk about becoming you. Becoming you. What does that even mean? I want to talk to you a bit about spirit and spirit communication. And this does not have to do with religious beliefs. This doesn't have to do with belief. This has to do with experience and what you want to experience. When I began the process of spirit communication, I really wanted to hear from my mom, like my little daughter was able to do. That was my goal. Along the way, I found other things. And I also found it didn't matter to me where the information was coming from, as long as I recognized it as outside of me. So it was just my thinking. I'm getting ahead of myself. So the part about my mom is now I do feel her, I do sense her. It's nothing like when she was here physically, but what I got, and it's been 30 years since she left this place, is that the person that I knew as my mom and the person that I interact with in spirit now as my mom is a very different person. It's a very different spirit. It's not a person anymore. It's a very different spirit because she has evolved, just like I've evolved. Like she wouldn't know me, right? You ever think that, like, oh, if grandma came and saw me now, she wouldn't even recognize me. And we're not talking about how we look, but just how we live and how we are. So it's important to recognize that when spirit leaves this place, they are exactly as they were when they left. If they were a loving, kind human being, when they pass into spirit, they're loving and kind, and then they will continue to evolve from there. If they exhibited a lot of crappy behavior when they were living, that's still going to be kind of how they are. So they don't become all of a sudden an angel. That's not how it works. Now, I know I'm talking a lot about something as if I know, and this is my knowing. This is what I know, and I want to share that with you because it's helped me so much. Now, if for you the leap between, intuition and psychic is one thing, but when it comes to spirit communication, that's a little too far out for you, I understand. I thought it was kind of weird too, but it makes sense to me. And because I was in this process and am in this process for many, many years, it makes sense to me that when a person's body dies, this vehicle that we drive around in, our soul drives around in, right? When it dies, that the soul continues. Now that just makes sense to me. It's energy. Everything's energy. And I'm sure science is going to absolutely prove this pretty soon. But what I want to say to you is, because we do all come from different parts of life, different walks of life, different backgrounds. I was raised in the church, but my father was Jewish. And so, I've come to my own understanding of life and death and spirit through my process. And I want to ask you to keep an open mind and be skeptical. It's really important to be skeptical when it comes to spirit communication. What does that mean? It means you ask spirit good questions to prove their existence. It could be, prove it to me, come to me in a dream, or if you get a feeling that spirit's with you and they want you to do something, you don't just do it. You have to question that. People get thrown in jail for doing what they're told to do from some outside voice, right? No, we don't do that. Spirit, my understanding is that spirit wants for our greatest and highest good. That's who I invoke. That's who I call to me. I call my spirit guides, and I'm sharing this with you so that you can take out of this what works for you, what resonates for you, what you feel in your intuition is right for you. You ask spirit something. You ask spirit to show you a sign, to make it clear that you're supposed to do whatever it is you're wanting an answer on. And make sure it's clear. Make sure you feel, yeah, that feels right in my intuition. Yeah, this is right for me. When I invite spirit to speak with me, through me, I do channeling. It's for my greatest and highest good. I ask spirit to come to me for my greatest and highest good, and the greatest and highest good of those around me, in my home, in my community, in the world. It's okay to be looking out for you. That's what you're doing. You're becoming you. By becoming you, you are able to be present in those relationships in your life, in those other roles that you play. Maybe you're a parent. Maybe you're a child. You have to be a child or a parent or a sibling or a friend or something, right? You have some other relationships in your life. And in order to be there for other people, it's so much more effective if you're there for you first, because then you're trusting your intuition and your solidity in you empowers other people. You know, we don't live on an island. Well, I do live on an island. That was silly, huh? Okay, so as people, we are all connected. There's such a web of connectivity between us all. I just went through a health crisis. You know, I got that horrible cancer diagnosis, and I was like, what am I going to do? And I started a blog, right? I'm a writer, so I thought, I've never done a blog. Here's a good reason to do a blog. And I shared my experiences almost daily on the blog and invited everybody on Facebook and friends and, I don't know, old friends, family members. And people really were interested in what I was saying, and I think because it's relatable. And through that process, I had like 200 people send me love, send me, I'm praying for you, send me healing. I know a lot of energy healers. And oh my God, there was somebody, there was a local friend who was going to China to do Qigong with the Qigong masters. She said, we're all sending you healing from China with the Qigong masters. Like who does that? That's amazing. And I really get how we need one another. We need to ask for help. That's always been hard for me because I got it. I can do it. No, 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 no. I can do it kind of person, right? Well, this was beyond me because I want to live and I want to live a long and happy life. And cancer scared, the out of me. So we're in this thing together. And there's a whole spirit team there for you if you ask. And if you ask from a place of love, and please help me, and be really specific what you need, So part of this whole process is knowing what you need. How do you know? How can Spirit help you if you don't tell them what you need? Right? They need to know that, but you need to know that. So becoming you is about getting clear on what your needs are, what your dreams and visions are. I can't tell you how many people I talk to and I say, so what's, as they're telling me their problems about, I don't have enough money, or my relationship isn't going well, or I don't know, it rains too much, or it's too cold here. When I say, well, what's the dream? And they just look at me like, uh, uh, I don't know. I don't know. What's your vision? What would be the ideal relationship? What would be the ideal amount of money that you would have that would make you happy? Do you think it's going to make you happy? Because one of the things I've experienced is that when someone comes into a lot of money, now I'm saying you go from middle class or lower class to millionaire, well, then who are your friends? How do you know who your friends are? Who wants you for your money? So it changes. So everything comes with its challenges. There's no like, well, if I just had this, everything would be perfect. Those things that we think we want, what I do with people is I get to the root of it. What do you think that money is going to give you? What do you think that relationship is going to give you that you don't have right now? What do you think perfect health is going to give you? I'm not saying you shouldn't have it or you shouldn't go for it. I'm not a should. You do whatever you want. This process is about you finding out what's right for you, and as a person who supports you, I help you to uncover that. And Spirit is a great resource there are all these components, right? So far I've talked about intuition, I've talked about psychic ability, I've talked about spirit communication, uh, and meditation as a tool. There's lots more to come. So come back again. I'm going to conclude this one, and I wish you a beautiful day and to enjoy wherever you are and whatever you're doing and whomever you're with or not, to be at peace with you. Thanks for tuning in today, and until next time, I'm Isla.